I'm Eric Fuchs, Senior Contributing Analyst at The Street, and they just don't get it. We're here today to talk to you about how we all know what JP Morgan did. They lost, count them, $2 billion. But what seems to be an issue is what JP Morgan will do. In other words, what impact will JP Morgan's watermelon-sized mess up have on JP Morgan and the larger world? Now, MarketWatch, for one, saw the impact through a very narrow frame. In an article called JP Morgan Stock Dives to 2-Month Low, they focus only on the impact of the event on JP Morgan's stock price. Now, the Wall Street Journal in one article went slightly broader than that, but not much. They said JP Morgan's London whale drowns bank stocks, focusing on the impact of this egg on the face, as Jamie Dimon so aptly put it, on not only JP Morgan, but the larger world of banking. Now, in a separate article, though, about risk aversion spreading to the currency markets, the Wall Street Journal focuses not on bank stocks, but currency markets. And the New York Times, by contrast, in an article called "A Shock from JP Morgan is New Fodder for Regulators," talks about the potential impact on this loss on regulations tightening. Meanwhile, elsewhere in the media, it's all about the impact of this event, or this misevent, on Jamie Dimon's tenure, or other people who will or won't be fired. So which is it? And why, in the hands of the media, does a complex issue get told so simply? Why can't it be told as having an impact with a confluence of issues? Well, because that's harder to write. But that's the way the world works. When something big and bad like this happens, it has multifaceted impact. And because that impact is hard to frame in a little article, the media doesn't really get to it. The Wall Street Journal, in another article, had, at long last, the apt line. It said that this loss, quote, presents a host of issues, and then went on to speak about all these issues. It's really, really important to see an event like this in the complex terms it deserves. Here's what you need to know. Number one, JP Morgan lost big bucks. Number two, the loss will have wide implications. Number three, it's easier to talk single factors, but don't believe any of the coverage that sees this complex issue through a simple, narrow frame. If you disagree with me, and you won't, feel free to email me at marek.fuchs@thestreet.com. And remember, they just don't get it.
This market is fueled
Stock tickers market.
Stocks have rallied this year.
We're coming into a Monday where we're going to